going to talk about the user account management of the CTE. What we need, CTE has this unique function which allows in a production line system to designate different types of users. We have three types of users. One is called administrator, which is the highest level. He has access to all the functions or whatever function we define. Engineer is a subset of an administrator. The main difference with an engineer, test engineer, is that he cannot create, edit, or delete users, but he can theoretically have access to the same functions as the administrator. And then you have the line operator or an operator, which basically would be somebody on the line. He needs to run an MTF test, and he doesn't care about the criteria, the pass-fail, or and other parameters, temperature, whatever. It's all set up by the test engineer. All he needs to do is basically run the test, and that way you can build a sequence of tests for the line operator to test your specific camera or product or imager or whatnot. So in order to activate or access the user account manager, we run the CTE, enter our username. I'm using A, which is symbolizes an administrator. There's no password in this session. It's just easier for me to demonstrate. So the CTE window opens up. We go to the menu bar, click the tester, go down to users, and it opens up the user account manager. I'm going to hide the main window so it's easier to see. And here we have basically four different types of users in this system. One is the original administrator that we created, and there's an operator, an engineer, and of course, for my example, an administrator that we defined. If you want, you can show the passwords. Now, only an administrator can actually access this account. You need to be an administrator to access this. We can edit an existing user details. Let's say we're going to, double E stands for electrical engineer. We can edit his, let's say, credentials. We can change his name, change the password, select the group that he belongs to. We can generate different groups. Right now we have 3. And of course we can define the default application. At this point, the default application is called Test Executive. There's another version or flavor of CTE, which is called CTE Simplified. It's a more graphical user interface. I will present that in a different training session. And here we have another tab, Groups, which defines the different type of groups we have in the system. As you can see, as an administrator, everything is checked. That means he can do everything. He or she can do everything. So there's nothing you can uncheck, so everything's great. But as an engineer, we can select a subset of these functions. I just want to bring to your attention system configuration. Test engineer, his function, of course, is to set up the parameters, pass-fail criteria, maybe messages for the system, a pre-test sequence, a post-test, set up globals, whatnot. Administrator, of course, can do the same. I just want to make sure that when I define an engineer, I want to limit some of the things because I want to be very careful, because the test engineer or administrator can very easily delete what we call the whole test collection of the system. Let's say we have a number of products or a number of part numbers in the system in a database, and each one has a set of, let's say, an MTF. Each one's defined an MTF, and if we delete the test collection, it'll delete the whole MTF test across the board of all the systems, as opposed to just having access to delete a certain setup file for a specific test. So this needs to be understood. Not everybody should have access to that, so I kind of limit that. once you become more efficient or proficient in the system, you can add this function if you want to allow the test engineer, as long as he knows what he's doing. And of course, most of these options here are self-explanatory. You probably don't need to change them at all. It's just there so that you know that you can do that. Finally, we have the operator, which is the lowest level. In this case, nothing. He has no access to anything, can't change files or whatnot. And sometimes, it depends on your policy, you can allow him to have access to the device management or device center. And so you can click on the checkbox for the device center, etc., and click on the apply window. If I want to add a new user, we just click on the add new user button, and basically that's it. So if we go down, exit here, we go back to the test executive. As I said, we have a list of tests here. I just want to point out, if I want to delete a test, I'm logged on as an administrator, I can delete. If I click delete, I have two options here. You can either remove this current test here, or completely remove the whole test sequence. So this, you have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing. You don't want to delete the whole system unless this is probably usually a CI function that you would want to do. If I log on as an EE, and I want to try and delete something, that's it. It tells me I don't have the privilege to delete. Okay. So again, those are based on the user access records. Thank you.